Yo, what up guys? It's your boy the Don John back with another Reddit story video, and we're just gonna continue reading more Reddit stories while playing Black Ops 2, which by the way, I bought a PS4 and I'm now playing the actual brand new port that was ported over to PS4 and PS5. So yay! No more plutonium, no more shitty ass servers, lag, modders, and yeah. Now I'm actually playing with real life players with controller, and I'm dominating with the sniper, which if y'all watching, y'all about to see. If not, if you're just listening to the stories, that's also fine. But without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so this story is, am I the asshole for not liking the gift my boyfriend got me for my birthday? So my boyfriend and I have been together for the past 2 years, and our relationship has been stable for the most part. Last week, I hosted my birthday at a restaurant in an outdoor mall near my house and invited all of our friends. Ever since the Nothing headphones released, he has been talking about them non-stop. I've always thought they were ugly and I've expressed this to him, but I've always made a mental note to get it for him for his birthday. Recently a yellow one released, which I mentioned is even more repulsive, and he's been talking about it more often. So during my birthday dinner, I was opening gifts and I got to his. I opened his gift and lo and behold, they're the yellow Nothing headphones. I kinda lagged for a split second, but I recovered quickly and thanked him with a huge smile on my face, hugged him, and thanked him profusely. After I got home, I found that he sent me a message on Snap that said, "Did you like the gift? I feel like you don't," which I replied to with, "To be completely honest, it wasn't my favorite, but I generally do appreciate the effort you put into my gift." He then got all defensive and started sending me paragraphs calling me a no grateful bitch and how he's drained and how I never appreciate him. I then replied with, "I'm sorry if I came off like that, but I did mention how I didn't like them, and especially the yellow ones, and you know that I do already have AirPods. I'm not trying to be ungrateful, I seriously do appreciate how you went out of your way to get me something. But that something happened to be something you like. I just feel like you aren't hearing or taking what I say into consideration. Thank you for the gift, and sorry for making you feel that way." He then replies with, "You're being an asshole and I think we should take a break. I'll pick up the gift tomorrow. I have him on delivery and I have no clue what to do or say. I do appreciate the effort, but I feel unheard. Am I the asshole? Is there something else I should have said?" Okay, so for this one, I feel like no, you're not the asshole, because you already expressed multiple times that you didn't want them, especially the yellow one, which you didn't like. Like, he should have definitely gotten you something else that you like. He should have gotten something that he knows that you appreciate, something that's more you. And so he just thought something was cool and thought, this will be a perfect gift for my girl, which is nice, that's also nice, but he didn't really think about the gift. He didn't be like, wow, is she gonna like this? Will she appreciate this? Is this something she'll like? Like, it's like something expensive. I feel like he since he thought it was something expensive, he thought you'd appreciate it, which obviously, yes, if someone gave you an expensive gift, of course you'd be appreciative, and you were appreciative about it. You just didn't want that particular one. But I guess next time, just don't say nothing. Just be like, no, yeah, I love it, thank you, I love you so much, But yeah, no, I don't think you're the asshole. Honestly, now that I think about it, maybe a little bit, just a tad bit, not just the tiniest bit, because I mean, but then again, you were straight up honest. He asked you and you were honest. You didn't lie to him. So I feel like he should have thought about that. Like, oh, well, at least she's being honest about it. But nah, I don't think you're the asshole. Maybe a little tiny bit, but nah, not really. Alright, the second story is, am I the asshole for telling my roommate his cats may have to stay in his room because his move fell through? My roommate gave me a notice that he was moving out because he was going to move in with his girlfriend. Based on that, I committed my spare room to another friend who needs a place to live. This wasn't just because I wanted another roommate. He's in a pretty urgent housing situation and accepted the room based on my current roommate's move-out timeline. He took his cats and half of his stuff to her house 2 weeks ago, then my roommate's girlfriend changed her mind and decided she wasn't ready for him to move in after all. I generally feel bad for him because I know that situation sucks. The problem is I've already committed to someone else. So now we're in a temporary overlap where my current roommate is staying while my new roommate moves in. Here's where it gets complicated. I have 2 cats. Current roommate has 2 cats. New roommate has 3 cats. I'm not willing to have 7 cats roaming around a 1,600 square foot house. I asked my current roommate if he could move his cats to his girlfriend's house since that was the original plan. He says that they can't go there yet, but thinks they'll be able to before the end of August. I told him that's fine, but until then, his cats may need to stay in his bedroom instead of having all 7 cats free roaming the house. I also asked him to move the box he's been storing in my garage because I need the space to clear out my spare room and help my new roommate move in. One other thing that factors into this is that my current roommate spends probably 70% or more of his time at his girlfriend's house. That means I'm usually the one home dealing with the cats. I'm the only one cleaning around the litter boxes, vacuuming up the litter they kick everywhere, and generally dealing with the extra mess while he's gone. I feel like I'm trying to be fair with everyone. I'm not kicking my current roommate out. I'm giving him until the end of August to hopefully get things worked out. At the same time, I don't think it's fair to tell my new roommate, who accepted the room based on the original move-out date, that his plans now have to change because my current roommate's plans fell through. There's been a lot of tension since I told him the cats will probably need to be locked in his room, but I don't know what else to do. Am I the asshole for asking my roommate to move his garage boxes and saying his cats may need to stay in his room temporarily until he can move them? So, kind of sucks. I feel bad for your roommate because, well, he was moving in with his girlfriend, and then last second she changed her mind. That sucks. And another thing, why do y'all all have so many damn cats, dude? Like, can I just say that? Okay, it's fine, you have your cats, but then your other roommate has cats, and then your ex-roommate also has cats. Like, dude, y'all do not need that many damn cats. Like, I have a cat. Just one. I'm good. Maybe one more, but that's it. That's all. I don't need no more cats. 7 cats? Let alone, y'all had like, what, 4 or 5 before the whole situation started already? Too many damn cats, bro. I'm just saying. But, no, you're not the asshole, dude. You are being fair. You're being fair to both. You're being fair to your ex-roommate. You're giving him, a date. You're not just kicking him out. You are dealing with all the mess and having to clean up after them and all that. And your new roommate, well, from his understanding, your ex-roommate was gonna move. Your ex-roommate was gonna move out. He was gonna move in. Done deal. But things happen. But no, you're being pretty fair. You're not the asshole here. Alright, he's a pretty short one, but I think it'll be good. Am I the asshole for not loaning my brother $1,000 even though he is unemployed? For context, I, 24-year-old male, and my older brother, 27-year-old male, have built a very close relationship over the years, but I have never loaned him more than $75 at once. A few days ago, he asked me for $1,000 because he had to pay off his rent. I understand that he has no current income, but there are multiple immediate hire and entry-level jobs in our location that he is more than fully qualified for, but refuses to take. I feel like if I hand it over, he will just use it as a mode to avoid working for even longer. As of current standings, my family members and him are giving me a hard time for not lending him this money. Am I the asshole? Tough situation. I feel like there needs to be a little more context. I think so, but I wouldn't say that you're the asshole because, he could have easily gone. It's not easy to get a job, but he could at least maybe potentially found a job by now. At least found a way to make some sort of income. And also, why is he only going to you for the money? You're telling me he can't go to anybody else, any friends of his, mom or dad, cousins? I don't know, man. Obviously you're his brother. You're like probably his go-to guy. That's understandable, but no, you're not the asshole because money's money, and that is $1,000. Even though I understand that he needs to pay rent, and well, obviously if he doesn't pay rent, he could get evicted and kicked out, but nah, personally, I don't think you're the asshole in this situation. And also another thing, like, that is also a valid reason. One of the reasons not to give him $1,000. Like, he was like, oh, I got $1,000, pay off rent. I can slack out for a little bit. Yeah, a lot of people do that, and you don't want to encourage that. You need to be like, hey, get a job. And if you do lend the money, we'll be like, hey, I'll give you this money if you get a job or at least an interview in like so date. I feel like that'd be a nice fair compromise in a situation like that. Alright, here's a lengthy one. Am I the asshole for wanting to stay out of this drama? I, 25-year-old female, have been friends with Flower, 24 years old, and Adrian, 25 male, since university. We've been a close trio ever since. Flower had a horrible breakup earlier this year. She was engaged and had a wedding date, but ended it in February. I know she spent months hoping he'd come back, and I don't think she's fully over it. Adrian recently started seeing someone. They're not officially together yet, but they're serious and refer to each other that way. A few nights ago, we went to a black tie event. Flower got extremely drunk to the point where she could barely stand and needed help walking. She was clearly not in her right mind. At first, she got unusually affectionate with Adrian, which we brushed off because of how drunk she was. Then she tried to kiss him and said something like, "We should have dated." Adrian immediately shut it down. Afterwards, Adrian told me he was upset because the girl he's seeing trusts both Flower and me, and he feels that trust was broken. He said he doesn't want to hang out with Flower anymore and would rather ghost her. I'm convicted. I understand Adrian wanted boundaries and respecting his relationship, but Flower was blackout drunk and doesn't even remember what happened. I also understand why Adrian feels uncomfortable and doesn't want it happening again. The problem is I'm stuck in the middle. Adrian has been venting to me nonstop but doesn't want to tell the girl he's seeing because he doesn't want drama. Flower has no idea any of this happened. I don't want to be the messenger, mediator, or therapist. I don't think it's my place to tell Flower what she did, convince Adrian to forgive her, or manage their feelings. They're both my friends and I don't want to pick a side. Am I the asshole for wanting to step back and let them deal with this themselves? No, completely understandable. You don't want to be put in the middle. You know, that sucks to be put in that situation. You know, when this whole drama situation is going, you know, I mean, it's pretty intense, not gonna lie. I'd be pretty nervous, anxious, or I wouldn't even know what to do in that situation. Well, actually, yeah, I wouldn't know what to do. I to be honest, I'd probably pick a side. I kind of do like drama a little bit, not gonna lie, but for the most part, I try to stay out of it. But if I'm like put in it, I'm like, okay, how am I gonna deal with this? I'll probably pick a side, from my experience. But no, dude, it's a lot of people nowadays try to go live their lives by staying out of trouble. You know, like nobody wants to deal with anything. They just want to go to work, come home, do what they do, and just live their life. And that's understandable. That's fine. So no, I don't think you're the asshole in this situation. Am I the asshole for calling my 26-year-old best friend a loser after he tried to embarrass me in front of our girlfriends? Context: I have a best friend who I've known since childhood. We grew up together, went to the same schools, parties, church, extracurriculars, etc. I met the female versions of myself and my best friend 3 years ago. I introduced the other one to my buddy and we both have been in very happy relationships with our respective girlfriends. We literally did everything together: double dates, hanging out, playing video games all together, going to do fun couple shit, etc, etc, etc. Things started falling apart when my girlfriend and I moved out to our apartment downtown. Things were great in the beginning. They did come over every weekend and we drink and watch movies together. But slowly, I'm not even really sure why. He just started becoming aggressive with me. Like, for example, I am addicted to this one video game. I probably have like 3,000 hours in the game. The next time we all hopped on said game, he made fun of me for having no life and still being asked at the game. It wasn't just us in the call. A bunch of our friends and both of our girlfriends were in there. I laughed it off the first few times, but it started spreading into other things like, I am a pretty lanky dude, I will be honest. I'm not particularly big. My best friend is. He constantly tries to belittle me in group settings by squeezing my biceps. Progressively, these types of things got worse until finally we both exploded and I called out every single one of his flaws. The fact he has no job and he has no desire to look for one in all the years we've been out of school. The fact that he most definitely has at least the same amount of hours in the same video game I play, plus all the others that he plays. The fact that I introduced him to his new girlfriend and he milks her out of all of her money, yet still chooses to attack me after every time I've held my tongue and put his feelings first. We haven't talked since. His girlfriend called me and apologized on his behalf. It made me even angered that he didn't have the balls to call me himself. She begged me to talk to him and apologize because our situations are different because I am kicking him while he's down. I told her that he can eat shit and come talk to me face to face and then maybe we can discuss this. My girlfriend is also asking me to just talk to him to keep the peace. I don't know what to do. I'm really conflicted. He really tried to hurt me even though all I've ever done is be there for him. I get that you don't fight fire with fire, but I was mad. Am I the asshole? I relate to this a lot because, especially nowadays, okay, there is such thing. Oh well, let me not say that. People rage bait a lot today, okay, and back then it was just like egging people on. Some people call it teasing, which is fine. Teasing and all that's fine. But at this day and age, people try to rage bait. All right, they try to get something out of you. You know, they try to rile you up, and it's annoying. Especially when, like, at first, if it's something small, okay, they're just teasing you. They're just messing around. They're just having a good time. But when they constantly keep doing the same thing or talking about the same thing, at that point they're rage baiting and they're trying to rile you up and get a response out of you. And I relate to this because that's all my friends do. Like, I can't just have a normal conversation with them and, you know, just talk about something cool or like, oh, you see that? I mean, we do talk about, but sometimes they always say something like that has nothing to do with, like, oh, you would do something like that, huh? Freaking stupid, or, you know, something like that. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. But then they continue trying to get a response out of me, and it's like, dude, just stop. Why are you trying to get a response out of me? Why are you trying to rile me up? Can we just be friends? And sometimes they go too far. Most people, like myself, tend to just let it go. I'm like, okay, they're just joking around. All right, that's all they're doing. But whenever it goes too far, at some point, I myself do snap. And I feel like that's what happened with this dude, obviously. his friend kept on calling him out on how little he is, while the friend is bigger. And he kept on calling him out while they're playing a game that the OP likes, something that he's really into, which I could also relate to. I'm really into, whenever I play a game that I'm really into, I'm gonna keep playing it. Even if I'm ass or not, I'm gonna still keep playing it. I don't need someone to tell me that I'm ass or belittle me from something that's outside the game. So, no, I don't think you're the asshole, but I feel like you should talk to him, because at the end of the day, he's your best friend. You can't just stop being best friends over something like that. Y'all can work it out, and continue being good friends, and hopefully lifetime friends. But yeah, no, I don't think you're the asshole. Now you're good. Okay, am I the asshole for ignoring my religious advice from my family? I, 14-year-old female, have a very Catholic family. They're incredibly religious, and to solve any problem, they pray. When I was younger, I did the same too. Whenever something difficult was happening in my life, I prayed for strength to recover. God never answered, and I felt more alone. I felt as though I wasn't good enough for God to listen to my prayers. Everyone around me felt a connection to Him, meanwhile I was doubting my faith. Eventually, I lost all belief in Him. I began adopting religious beliefs that felt right to me. I now believe that every religion is true in their own way. Everyone was created by a different deity, or maybe just evolution. As for myself, I believe that whatever higher power of evolution that created me, I will never truly understand, because humans lack that knowledge. I don't ever plan on telling my parents my true beliefs. Most of my mom believed I was doing witchcraft, and she went on the whole rampage. She made me throw away all my journals and kept yelling that, in this house, we only praise the true and only God. My older sister, who I once was very close to, has become very religious herself. At first, I was happy for her. She found faith that was true for her and made her life seem brighter. But soon it seemed excessive. She prioritized God over anything else in her life. A day ago, her and I were talking about what careers we wanted to enter. Both of us agreed that we wanted more money. Our family makes $50,000 a year altogether with 3 kids. She says she wants to have a job that made her just enough to survive. I replied that I want a job where I'm well off. I want to study to be an anesthesiologist. My sister said that rich people don't go to heaven, as if I'll be making millions/billions of dollars a year. I jokingly said, I don't care if I go to hell. Her eyes widened and she looked disgusted. She immediately scooted away and said she didn't want to talk to me for a moment and that I deserved to be in the timeout. Mind you, my sister is 18 years old. My family constantly urges me to pray and they hope miracles happen. My sister once told me to pray for a car. She has no funds saved up, she isn't actively looking for a car, and she can't afford gas. She said that God will make one appear. Now, I do believe that everyone was created by whatever they believe in, and whatever they believe in is true, but come on. I do understand that they just want to spread the word of Christ so we can all go to heaven, but they all look kind of ridiculous to me. Bad stuff constantly happens to us. We're poor, in a toxic environment, yet they still hold faith in their God. That's devotion and loyalty, I guess. So, alright. Religion is tricky. Because, you get to choose your religion. You believe what you believe. And when you're raised in a very religious family, some people do see that, like, why are we praying to this God? Like, do we have proof? And also you start to question things like, is he even real? Are you sure? Like, there's science, there's evolution, there's God, which is which, and of course there's multiple of other religions in the world that could be true or other bullshit, and people believe them. And in my opinion, I feel like you believe what you believe. It's just that simple. Like, it's not that hard to grasp. You shouldn't judge people by their beliefs unless they're fucking ridiculous. But also, in my opinion, when you're overly religious, like me myself, I'm Catholic. I do believe, but I'm also a bit on the iffy side. I also do believe in, like, evolution. But when I see overly religious people, I myself do also think crazy ass fucking people do. Like, you're over here knocking on my door, asking to spread the word of God. I'm like, I already know, bro. And then I shut the door at them. Like, some people just don't want to be converted. Some people don't want to hear you spout your religion to them. All right, they already have their beliefs, and you should respect that. It's that simple. And for you, good for you. You have your beliefs, and also you know what you want to do when you grow up. You want to be an anesthesiologist. That's awesome. Your sister is a bit of a bitch, in my opinion. If anything, she might go to hell. I'm just kidding. Hopefully not. But whenever you said that she scooted away from you and was in disgust, I could just imagine she's like, "Oh, get away from me," and just slightly scooting away herself from you. Like that's what I imagined in my head. But no, and nowhere in the story are you the asshole, because you believe in what you believe, and you should live the life that you want to live, and no one should judge you for that. Alright, here's another story. The title, I haven't fully read it yet, but the title itself kind of makes me laugh. Am I the asshole for not letting my friend sit on my shoulder for an entire concert because she's heavy? Recently, my friend group and I went to a concert together. I don't want to dox myself, so I'll just say it was pretty well-known artist in a major city. So there were a ton of people there. We were in the selling section, and we got there a little later than we wanted, so we were near the rear of the section. I'm a decently tall guy, 6 feet and 2 inches, on my best days. And as a result, I could see over most of the crowd. My buddy is a hair taller than me, and he could see just fine as well. However, the women in our friend group are shorter than 5 feet 4 inches. I don't know how tall exactly, but they're short. My buddy is dating one of the girls, so he does gentlemanly thing and puts her on the shoulders for a good bit so she can see and grab a cool video, etc. I'm not exactly dating the other girl we brought with, but she asked me if she could sit on my shoulders for a bit, and I obliged. Now, I want to be very careful. I'm not saying the girl on my shoulders is fat, but she was heavy and awkward. She's a decently well-endowed woman, up top and on the bottoms if you catch my drift. So she's really hard to balance. If she was less awkward to have up there, but after a good 20 minutes, my core was killing me from having to adjust and I set her down. About another 10 minutes pass and her favorite song plays. I say I can't pick her up unless she wants to get dropped. She asks if I'm calling her fat. I say, no, you're not fat, but you're heavy. Immediately she's pissed and I was a little cross-threaded so I don't realize. After the concert, our friends drop us off at my place and she's pissed off at me for calling her heavy, so she just wants to sleep. She decides just to sleep on my couch. The morning comes, she doesn't even say goodbye, she just leaves. Like an hour later, the other girl in our group is texting me telling me I'm such a dick sometimes and I really hurt her feelings. I feel like this is a misunderstanding, but I guess I could be an asshole. So, when you're put on the spot like that, I feel like no matter what you say, you're gonna end up coming out as the asshole, even though you're trying to be nice as possible. Like, obviously, holding a whole human on your shoulders is pretty tiring, especially if they're slightly heavy. You did the right thing. You said yourself that she's not fat. She's just heavy. You did what you said it nicely. You're like, you're not fat. You're just heavy. My shoulders hurt. But obviously, and like I said, in that situation, no matter which way you say it, no matter how nice your tone is, or you even find the nicest way possible in the world, they're gonna feel offended. They're gonna feel hurt. Because, well, frankly, a lot of people in the world are insecure. I myself am insecure. You're not the asshole, dude. You did your best to be nice about it. She just got offended because you just can't really do nothing. Like, I really can't think of a possible way to come out in this situation as not the asshole. No matter if you're being nice, if you're not even thinking that she's fat, nothing really could do. It's just a lose-lose situation, really. But yeah, that's my take on this. Oh well, that's all I have for today, guys. So if you want to hear more, if you like the video, like and share, subscribe would be nice. Get me to at least, I say, 200 subscribers. That'd be nice. Good amount of likes, some views. That'd be appreciated. But alright, see you guys later. Bye.